All right, all praises to
Havoc, Havoc.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to you brothers teaching in truth and in sincerity.
I got an article from forwardnews.com, and it says, recall that at least as early as March, a former federal prosecutor with sources inside the DHS reported that Obama was planning for a race war before the end of his alleged term. Before the end of his alleged term in office. Perhaps to some, that seemed a bit melodramatic at the time. After reading this, I'm sure you agree. It was hardly melodramatic. Not long ago, on May 31st, Obama took time out of his extremely busy schedule to deliver an address at the FEMA National Response Coordination Center in Washington, where he had made a point to stress that Americans who are not preparing for disaster or who do not have emergency evacuation plans for any given scenario could find themselves in big trouble in the near future. Does Obama know something the rest of us don't? Consider some of the scenarios Michael Sidney suggested in a prior article, that America should be bracing for a West Coast earthquake, a new Madrid earthquake, a tsunami on either the East or West Coast, immediate impact, Islamic terror, war, an EPM burst that takes down the power grid, cyber warfare, economic collapse, or civil unrest, resulting in martial law, if only that were all.
And I got a precept, Revelation 16:14. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Most High Almighty.
Right, man. So that's basically what the elite's doing, you know, through their different ambassadors and stuff they got set up, man. You know, you got the ambassadors that go across the four corners of the world talking to the different leaders of different countries, man. You know, then you got the Pope. He part of that whole system, because when up above there they go into the beast and the false prophet, man. You know, how three unclean spirits came out of their mouth like frogs, man. And they went out basically, you know, performing different miracles, man. Like, and going to the brother article, man, they actually do false flag attacks, man. And they use something like, it's called order out of chaos, man. They'll call chaos and then like coming like the solution plan to it, man. Which the whole thing is, that's what they doing now. They basically trying to start these race riots up so they can implement martial law, man. You know?
And it says, you may not be getting prepared for a major natural disaster, but the government sure is. I have been informed that in recent months, numerous emergency food companies have been contacted by the government, and they have been told that their inventories could potentially be seized in the event of significant emergency.
If I can say this, that goes into the National Defense Resource Act, man, where the government can come take all your resources, man, no matter what it is, whether it's your car, whatever they need, you know what I'm saying? You might have livestock, your tractor, whatever you have, man, that's under the law. They can come take it, man.
Land, like you said.
Come.
I got a precept. Micah 2:2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Right, because it all starts with the so-called white man, man. He's the one that devising the iniquity, man. Then he got your so-called, he got the Negro, he got everybody working for him, man. With Obama, he a Hamite, he just following orders, man. You know, but who's behind the whole plan, man? The elites, man. You know, the leaders are you so-called white people, man. These are y'all leaders. These not our leaders, man. They the one devising the evil, and they don't care if y'all get caught up in it, man, because that's how y'all always operated, man. You know, the scriptures say the leaders are y'all people, which I get it. You go ahead.
And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So the reason why Barack Obama know what the hell is going on, because he's an insider, and he's being controlled by the puppet.
Right.
You know, yeah, Khan. He's a part of that council, man. And like the brother is saying, basically his strings are being pulled by the ultimate puppet master, beginning with the so-called white man, which is the Esau, and the elite family of Edom at this time is the Rothschilds, man.
Then said, as I mentioned above, the government has also been preparing for a major food crisis. The following come from Vice President Joe Biden. The U.S. national security industry is planning for the impact of an unprecedented global food crisis lasting as long as a decade.
Precept, and back in verse 2, Micah 2:2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man.
And then it says, the studies published by CNA Corporation in December 2015, unreported until now, describe a detailed simulation of a protracted global food crisis from 2020 to 2030. The simulation, titled Food Chain Reaction, was a desktop gaming exercise involving the participation of 65 officials from the U.S., Europe, Africa, India, Brazil, and key multilateral and intergovernmental institutions. So we could actually see such a major food crisis during the years ahead.
And can I add a point? And the reason why basically they want to do this, just look at Venezuela, man. And it all goes back to when Joseph, our forefather, was in Egypt. You know, basically when he interpreted the dream to Pharaoh, what did the people do? Basically they gave up their goods until late to the latter part, they became enslaved under the system, man. So Esau wants to enslave everybody, man. But he wants the nation of Israel eradicated from the earth because he wants their birthright.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Right, man, because Esau basically he the one gonna make it a famine, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading an article yesterday, a couple of days ago. It's a new war drill they was doing, like the J Ham. It's called EX-16, which that was part of the drill. You seen that? Well, it was part of the drill where they was like preparing how they was gonna hold the food back on the people, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's the way, if you want to, control the people, man, that's one way you twist their fucking arm behind their back, man, by issuing out food and shit. Because what they thinking about their kids and getting fed, so on and so forth.
Yeah, any other resources.
Any other resources.
That's how they gonna pull our string.
Right.
This is Revelation chapter 6, start at verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
That's going back to Esau, man.
Right, because you not only known as the redneck, you also was known as the pale face, man. You know. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth.
Going back to Isaac's blessing, man. He gave Esau the sword, man.
To kill with sword, with hunger, and with death.
And fast forward to this day now. To this time frame now. Because see, he's been doing this shit in all these other countries, man. When you want to know the reason why Esau is in a land, just Google the natural resource of their land, man. But now he wants to enslave. He's gonna bring this same death and destruction in America, man.
Right, because going back to Fort Masada, back in Israel, man, when the Romans had besieged Jerusalem, man, and then you had like the Israelites who had, it was a fort like they called Masada, which you had the Romans had basically besieged the whole city, man, and where nothing can come in and go out, which it starved them out to death, man, which Esau gonna do the same thing to our neighborhoods, man. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American neighborhoods, they're gonna basically besiege them, man, where nothing can go in and go out, man. Where they're gonna basically start starving us out, man. That's why I say kill with sword. Well, I read it again. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Yeah, so these are multiple ways Esau is going to bring on their destruction, man. What's the sword? The missile, the gun, you know, his military might.
It's chemical warfare.
It's chemical warfare, you know.
Ultimately, the chip.
Yeah.
Right, whatever Esau can use to kill you, man, he gonna use it, don't matter what it is, man. So that's why he the devil, man, but he living out his blessing, man.
Yeah.
In order to understand Esau, you gotta go back to his blessing, man. He only living out what the Lord set him up to do, man.
Right. This says swelling populations and demand for food combined with ever scarcer water and land resources could lead to a doubling of food prices and trigger civil unrest in some developing countries.
Right,
a new report said.
Bro, if I can say this, just like with the situation in Venezuela, man, they country, they had a type of climate to where they can grow crops a year round, man. They don't never have to stop growing crops. So why do they need food, man?
Mm-hmm.
Because those basically the elites control their country, man.
Right.
And then those top politicians, they working for the so-called white man. So this basically Jacob's trouble, man. You know, so you know it's like the scripture said, man. Judgment gonna begin with the house of Jacob, man.
Yeah.
So the Most High gonna bring the wrath down on his people first, man. You know, which that 2/3 that got to die, that's their way of being purified, man. That's their way of being purged, man. Cause in the end, all Israel gonna be saved, but 2/3 gonna have to die. You know, horrible deaths, man. But that's gonna be their way of being purified, man.
And it says, but what are we to make of all the strange sightings of UN vehicles all over America recently? According to my friend Ray Garner, UN military vehicle.
Don't read too loud.
According to my friend Ray Garner, UN military vehicle activity has recently been reported in Texas, Mississippi, Arizona, Florida, and now in Virginia.
Right. And because basically, you know, due to 9/11, you know, every American citizen became a fucking terrorist, man. Deemed the Patriot Act, man. You know, you got a precept? Okay. All right, brother.
They said for the past day or so, military convoys have been witnessed traveling both north and south with lines of equipment ranging from Humvees, troop transport trucks, and tankers to military personnel following the convoy in civilian vehicles. Interestingly enough, many of the soldiers traveling the convoy were seen wearing helmets, an unusual procedure for a simple convoy.
I got a precept. Jeremiah 5:6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many and their backsliding are increased. And what is their leopard, man? That's what the brother's going into. Ultimately, it's their military, man.
It says, although the troop movement may indeed have been a routine convoy, and the United States vehicles may also have been a routine shipment from a manufacturing facility or even a simple and benign transport, the controversy brewing in the United States, elections, and the potential for civil unrest, the dangers of economic collapse, and the potential conflict with Russia are all potentials for use of United Nations peacekeepers inside the United States, as many have presided in the past, as well as for some type of martial law scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and now let's go back to the scriptures, man. You know, if we know the brothers know, man. But if you got actually people watching, like so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, all these is prophecies that's in the scriptures, man. So your pastor's not gonna tell you about this. Why? Because most of your pastors are a part of that clergy response team. They're a part of this, man. You know, they're gonna actually be guiding you into the concentration camps. Right, telling you it's for your safety, man.
It's like Esdras 15. I'm start 5.
Start at 5.
Or you want me to start off? You want me to go on?
Yeah, start at. What'd you say, y'all? What you say, 3? You can start it 5.
Behold, said the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the earth, the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
And this why, and this basically why all this finna happen, man. Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man. Under who? Somebody get that real quick in Maccabees, first Maccabees, where it say when the Greeks took over, basically wickedness first Maccabees
multiplied.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Alright. And their hurtful words are fulfilled. Therefore said the Most High, I will hold my tongue. I will hold my tongue no more.
Right, man. So now the Most High not holding his tongue, and how is he doing that, man? By the men of the Lord coming out and speaking his word, man. They warning the people, then letting the people know their fate, man. You know, letting our people know 2/3 of y'all gonna die. You know, letting the so-called white man know, look, ain't no hope for y'all. Ain't no hope for y'all.
Period.
You know, period. Other nations, man. You know, there's no hope for y'all. Now the other nations, y'all gonna get a mercy shown after y'all serve 1,000 years of hard slavery, man. Which we're gonna have to chain y'all up and basically beat y'all into subjection under our laws, man. Ain't gonna be no more worshiping Buddha or Allah, man. We're gonna chain y'all ass up until y'all learn not to worship those guys, man.
Well, yeah, you gonna have to call on the name of the Lord, man.
Come.
And also, if I could just build on the brother, and then those 2/3, that's actually the people that are destined to die within America, man. So it's gonna be a lot of Israelites down across the whole entire world, man. It's gonna be ugly, man.
Come. Get that real quick, man.
Maccabees.
Yeah.
Alright. And it says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place.
Can I add something? And the reason why he died within 12 years because, hey, he did what he's supposed to do on earth, man. Because he was a young man, actually, when he died. Yeah, but that just goes to show you, man, Yahweh Shem Al-Shai utilized him for a period of time and took his ass out.
Right. And, you know, he was known to be a homosexual, man. Yeah. So ain't no telling what kind of disease the Lord put on his ass, man. On the die at 31, man. You know? Skip down to the, you don't gotta read
it. It's right. Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
And it said, after his death, the y'all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
There you go, man. And evils was multiplied in the earth, man. So you so-called white people who try to run from your history, man, you know, everybody knows that Alexander the Greek was a so-called white man, man. And after his 4 generals took over and ruled in his stead, man, evils was multiplied in the earth, man. Just like that, man. When so-called, cause going back to Revelation, the 20th chapter, man, it was like when we banned him up for 1,000 years, it was like he wasn't able to deceive the nations no more, man. But it was like when he was released from his, basically released from under them chains, man, we started to come back out of the Caucasus Mountains. That's when it was like he basically went to deceive the nations and to gather all the nations for the great war of the Most High, man.
And the Roman Catholic stuff came back.
Right, man. So during the Renaissance period, that's when the so-called white man came back into power, man. And look at the earth right now, man. Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man.
I got a precept what you were talking about earlier. This is Michael 4:3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Right, man. So this what's gonna happen in the kingdom, man. When the earth actually get to be ruled in righteousness, man. You know, under the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You so-called Haitians, you Dominicans, you Cubans, man. You know, once starting with the elect first, man. But once the Lord put us in our power, man. The nation's not gonna learn war no more, man. They not, you know, we're gonna chain them up. We're gonna teach them the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You know, but the so-called white man, you just gonna you're gonna get rigorously slavery for 1,000 years. Then you're gonna be annihilated, man. Because the scripture said, basically, in Isaiah 26th chapter, man, show favor to the wicked, and yet he will not learn righteousness, man. And you consider the wicked, man. So no matter how we try to show you the law, man, you're not gonna learn righteousness, man. So you're gonna be annihilated off the face of the earth, man. Go ahead,
This is I'm gonna read 8 back over. I will hold my tongue no more as touching the wickedness which they have profanely committed, neither will I suffer them in those things